Hi, folks. How are you? By the way, right after this, we're going to give you 10 reasons you should buy homes for the holiday. I'm shadowing Wendy. Anyway, welcome to the Real Estate Investor Show. Thank you so much for joining us. It is the Real Estate Investor Show, hard money for real estate investors.
That's right. That's right.
Carolina Capital Management, we're lenders in the Southeast for real estate investors. So if you're interested in borrowing money, go to carolinahardmoney.com and click on the Apply Now tab. If you're a passive investor looking for passive returns, then click on the Edited Investor tab. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Hit the bell.
He's talking slow.
Hit the bell and sign up for Wednesdays with Wendy.
Woohoo!
I don't know why, but it seems like it's been more than a week since we did this.
It has been.
Has it? Oh yeah, we had Thanksgiving.
That's right.
That's why I'm talking so slow. I've got
That's
all
right.
that. What do you call that stuff? Tryptophan from the
Yeah,
from
that's
the
what it
turkey
is.
still lingering in my system.
And we didn't put the lights back because that one's too close and showing.
It's Bill's fault.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Yeah.
Well, pardon me. I'll repair
This
these.
one is the one that's the problem, but that's okay.
Hey, we
No,
get it fixed.
no,
We get
they're
it fixed
too-
right in the moment.
They should go in the other direction, but that's okay, Bill.
All right.
No,
This is why we're live.
So we wanted to talk about why potentially now the best time or a good time to buy property before
Yes, but
2022.
first,
breaking news.
breaking news.
You're live, Bill.
Okay, breaking news. This light should go forward.
Hey.
I can't.
There's too much stuff in the way.
Stuff in the way.
If you folks could see this room, you'd be
Anyway.
impressed. Thank you, Scott.
So employment numbers were out this spring, and the continuing claims dropped to below 2 million, which is good.
Yay.
Yep.
And the initial claims have also dropped quite substantially. It's like under 200,000, like 190,000. So it's awesome news as well.
Yep.
Still is
So
an
I
issue
want-
though. People trying to not find jobs, but to find people to work. I'm amazed at, the quality of service that's just, gone downhill wherever you go, restaurants.
Well, so just last night we had the subgroup meeting, and I had pizza ordered from Papa John's,
Mhm.
and I was like, man, where is this thing? It was 15 minutes late. And then some person comes around the corner. You get a DoorDash? I was like, no. And they're like, well, it's pizza. And I was like, yeah, sure. Papa John's doesn't have enough drivers, so they're outsourcing
Oh,
their
wow.
drivers to
That's
dash in
insane.
other places because they can't get people. I saw
Interesting.
signs where they're, $10 pay plus, mileage plus all these other different perks.
Wow, I might
Just-
start doing that.
I know I'm gonna drive after I get done here.
Well, the other thing that makes me a little nervous is, what's going to happen. I think a lot of the people that kind of lost their job over the COVID fiasco never went back to work because they started their own businesses. A lot of new businesses have started. Well, we all know what it's like to have your own business, and it's not easy.
Mhm.
And even when you do everything you can to make it work, 70% of us year are going to collapse.
Yeah.
And we've got a year coming up.
Mhm.
I wonder what's going to happen when we've got.
Well, we were talking last night, and someone said this. Now I don't know how true it is, but that all these people are working or doing their own business
Right.
under the table,
Mhm.
and not so basically their their net income is up much higher than it was previously. So they've been enjoying that, but to what extent?
Yeah.
At some point, we already know the government's trying to
Gonna catch
zero
up.
in,
Yeah.
on
Maybe this is why they wanted to have all your bank accounts of $600 or more,
That's a great point, Bill.
Mhm.
That's actually a great point.
yeah.
because they probably figured a lot of this was happening.
Yeah.
It's that whole show me yours, but I'm not going to show you mine.
Yeah. But
They-
then what's
they want
that?
to see everything you're doing.
That's
but
right. And then what's that going to do to the real estate market? How is
Mhm.
that going to
Well, here's
affect that?
now this is looking backward, but we'll.
Oh, it's just looking
So
backward.
storageunits.com did a survey in November, and they surveyed 1,250 people. And I don't know how you get a chunk of America with people.
50 people, yeah.
But they said they wanted to know how their living arrangements changed during COVID.
Mhm.
And they came to the conclusion that 67% of Americans had relocated. I think that's high.
Yeah.
2/3
Yeah.
of all Americans relocated.
They either
Wow,
they
that's
either
kinda
moved to a
skewed a
bigger
little.
house, moved to a smaller house, or moved somewhere else.
So relocated just means a move, not necessarily a geographic
Right.
move.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have assumed that thought.
So
To another
if you were
state.
wondering why housing prices kept going up, is because there were so many people buying and so few out there to buy,
Yeah.
because you had all these people relocating. Now, it doesn't mean that they purchased a home. They could have just been renting too. But
Are you seeing a
There's-
drop in that?
drop in what?
People buying houses.
There's still people buying.
There's plenty of people buying houses,
If-
but the multiple offer
if they're
syndrome
available.
is lower, I think. But
Well,
we'll
it's
see.
also winter, and it doesn't happen as often. It's
Yeah.
typically a time that slows down.
Yeah,
No,
last winter it didn't happen.
I
But
mean, November and December are typically, COVID, changed some things
yeah,
last year, but
yeah, it was
this-
atypical.
this
for
year
sure.
is definitely slowdown is very typical.
Yeah.
I mean, most people aren't trying to buy a home 3 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what happens when all the home prices go up? Conventional loan limits also rise.
Yes, they did.
So,
Yeah.
Shrew, put up that map for me, if you don't mind. Fine. I know you guys can't read this, but you'll see
That's why we're
colors.
putting it up anyway.
You'll still get an idea of the different areas where the values or the limits have gone up quite a bit. So the gray areas there, the loan limits for conventional loans have gone up to $647,200.
And this is for jump before you get into the world, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are conventional loan limits before you have to get into jumbo.
Right.
But the yellow, and I know it's kind of hard to see the different yellows, but the yellow,
The light yellow.
the highlighter yellow
Yes.
is 647 to 700. The next kind of orangey yellow
Goldenrod.
is 701 to 970. And then you can see Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah.
And
Orange.
parts of New York and
California.
Connecticut, and then that whole DC market where all the politicians live.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then
That's funny.
some places out there in the mountains, Wyoming.
Yeah.
Anyway, 970 up to
Beyond.
800. Wait a minute, 970, 700. Anyway, it's higher.
Yeah. 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 970,000.
So I'm assuming you can take that down now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's crazy.
I'm assuming that FHA will raise their limits soon enough. But again, it's a government agency and they take a little bit longer to do it.
Yeah, well, they're coming down the pike. Brian Maddox, who can't be with us today, he usually
Yeah,
is
we'll have
watching.
him. We'll
but
have him
he's-
on maybe next week.
Yeah, yeah, he was telling us about this about three or 4 weeks ago on our Sunrisers call. How amazing it is that those limits have changed.
Significantly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, they had to keep up because house prices were going through the roof.
Yeah.
Too quickly.
Well,
Yeah.
same last decade, they've gone up 150%, 154, but
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, the loan limits in some cases have gone up $100,000. So
Mhm.
I mean, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big jump.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so enough with breaking news. By the way, interest rates have ticked up slightly, but I think they tick back down a little bit too.
That's another thing Brian was talking about, is that we can expect to see them go up, but he feels like they might go back down again for maybe another year, maybe another 12 months.
Because of all the variants.
Well,
It probably has more to do with the 2022 midterm elections.
yeah, a whole lot to do with that.
I saw a
for
cartoon
sure.
this morning where this guy is hollering that there's a new variant. It's the Delta Miles variant.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's talk about the 10 reasons to buy homes
So
before the holiday.
I have this
for the holiday.
company that calls me or emails me and asks me to write articles and that kind of thing. And their question today was, what are the top 10 reasons why people should buy a home over the holidays?
Okay.
And
Do you have those?
Here's what I came up with, and I
Okay.
wanted to discuss this with you. The first thing is rates will go up in 2022. We know that's going to happen. It's going to happen. So one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So number two is house pricing. The cost of housing will continue to increase.
Yeah, the NBA, not NBA, but federal, they anticipate. I think they're all between 2 and 4%.
Yeah, so
on
it's
the
nothing
appreciation,
like
which is
2021,
which is normal.
right.
Yeah, so
Which should be normal. We probably get down into the normal realm of living.
The average increase since 1950s has been 3.5%.
Yeah.
So it should be normal appreciation.
Right.
Which will feel like people will probably try to convince you
that it's going down.
Everything's on fire.
That's right. No, everything's what it should be. Normal. So number 3 was renovating will become less expensive as the shipping ports are catching up.
Yeah, prices should come down on supplies.
Yeah, I think we're already
Agreed.
seeing a little bit of a change in that.
Well, the pricing has come down. It's the time frame in which to get them
Right.
that is the
Mhm.
issue right now. I mean, because lumber. I mean, there's still like between 20 and 30% price increase, which put that into
Right.
or attribute that to inflation. But it's you're talking 12 to 16 weeks to get doors,
That's right.
to get windows.
And it's all because of trucking at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, the ports too.
Well, the ports
and by the
need
way,
the stuff in, but trucks can't get them away, is what I'm hearing.
The current administration put a tariff on lumber from Canada. That's gonna help the supply and
That's slow
inflation.
Joe.
Anyway, go ahead.
I saw someone put a sticker on a gas pump.
I did this.
I was like, oh, that's funny. It was a picture of him saying like, I did that. I was like,
I saw one of those, and then beside that one was one of Pelosi going, and I helped.
oh man,
I liked that. I thought that was great. So number 4, I like this thought. Agents won't be nearly as busy, so they have more time to devote to you. Real estate agents.
assuming you want to use one,
Yeah.
you might just want to go the whole
iBuyer.
route.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. I'd
Well-
use an agent. I am one, so
I
of
know.
course I'm going to promote that.
Mhm.
But real estate agents serve a lot better purpose than most people. Number 5, many other buyers are weary from the multiple offer games, so the competition will be a little bit easier.
Maybe, yeah.
I think we're seeing, we're still seeing multiple offers, but not like we were. It's a big difference.
Well, it's like, I think that the data at this point is like, are we not seeing multiple offers because there's not as much interest or things are slowing down, or is it just because people are on pause because of the holidays? What we'll be telling will be really what happens in the end of January through February.
Right. That's a great point. That's a great point. I mean, even when I'm looking, I filter out properties that have been listed less than 30 days. I want to see properties that have been on the market for at least 45 days. If they've been on the market for 45 days, there's something up and it's worth looking at them.
Yeah. And they're a little bit more motivated at
Yeah.
that point.
Absolutely. And that's definitely going to happen.
Because
over
they're at home
holidays.
like, everyone else's homes are selling in 2 days.
That's
Why isn't
right.
ours?
Well, what's
Yeah.
wrong with mine?
Yeah.
That's for sure. Could be that there's a lot in the backyard that you walk out in 10 feet, it's straight down. All kinds of reasons that there's no problem for an Airbnb, but that's a whole nother story. So how about number 6? Things tend to slow in the winter months, giving you more to choose from.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just discussed that.
We did. We sure did. Number 7, the equity in your current home will allow you to buy more than you dreamed of.
Yeah, but I don't know. All set for what you're gonna have to pay to get the new one.
Well, unless you've refinanced, it's important. It's important to take a look at that. Number 8, my personal favorite. Zillow has 9,800 homes flooding the market to choose from.
Yeah.
My neighbor's house Zillow that, and they still haven't done anything with it. And my wife was like, "Well, what do you think when they're going to list it?" I'm like, "They're in no rush. They overpaid by $40,000."
That's the truth.
They're waiting for the prices to catch up.
That's right. And they're still going to have to rehab it.
Yeah.
you
Well, there's
know?
no that one doesn't need any rehab, but it's like they're going to sit on it.
Yeah.
I mean they overpaid at that time, but I mean they might be they might be
about
able to,
even right now.
No, I mean I think they might lose 20,000 right now.
Wow, if they're lucky.
Yeah.
If they're lucky. One of the things that I found too on Zillow, and I love that somebody from one of our masterminds shared it, that you can pull up Zillow and do a filter where you're only looking at Zillow owned properties. And then I just pulled up a map on the states. I pulled one up on Florida, pulled North Carolina and South Carolina, of course, because they're our home places, in cities that I want to buy in, and let me know right away what was available from the Zillow market. Nashville has a lot. Charlotte has a lot. There are some places you can see where Zillow wasn't buying at all. Like when I pulled up the state of Alabama, there's like nothing in Alabama. Zillow. So we're really particular about the markets. Most of them are really good markets that they're in. But the downside is they had to use the same contractors that are out there that everybody else is using, and they don't really have boots on the ground to oversee the contractors they hired.
Right.
So the rehabs that they have done are truly lipsticks on a pig. So you basically have to renovate it again and hope that there aren't any big tickets in there that were glossed over.
I want to mention something about the Zestimate that you see on
that's a
It
Zillow.
is the
number.
most accurate number that you can get.
If the company that provides you with an estimate on what a value is overpaying by $40,000
There's your sign.
in markets, how accurate are those values?
That's right.
Anyway,
That's exactly right.
what's the next one? Whitney?
Well, that's so funny because the Zestimate on my house is 30,000 lower than what someone just paid for a house then just closed on the 30th, for very comparable to mine. And and so I'm like, and I get my house appraised tomorrow. I'm like,
Yeah. It
It
depends on what
it
it
doesn't
is.
mean that
Yeah.
sometimes they're too high, sometimes too low.
Yeah.
They're just not very accurate.
what we're saying is don't buy houses based off the Zestimate.
Yeah. Number 1 rule. So number 9 is work from home options. I forgot to
Mhm.
insert the word home. So with the work from home options, you can move to wherever you want. What a great reason to move. I was living up north, not that the north area is not good, but I don't like cold weather. I would be heading south in a flash.
Don Harris,
Zestimate people also believe in Santa.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like that.
So true.
Listen, the president said Santa was the only guarantee that you get your gift on Christmas. So
That's funny.
he's real.
And
Yeah.
speaking of great real estate agents, Don Harris is the bomb.
Yes.
And he's with Keller Williams, just in case you need to know that. Okay, so the last one is you should be looking for property over the holidays because you've been a good boy or a good girl.
Because you're not getting cold in your
That's
stocking.
right.
Sweet.
That's right. That's the last one I could think of.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
No, I mean, yeah, if you can get property right now, you might have some more negotiating power than we'll have in February for sure.
That's for
I mean,
sure.
There's a lot of people who have timed things to hit the market in February, March. So I think right now you're going to have more negotiating power. You're right.
Sure.
I agree.
All right, so we have a few minutes left. You want to do a little forecast on what we think is going to happen in our crystal ball for
Should we start a drum
2022?
roll for that?
Sure. Yeah. Bill, what do you think?
Go ahead.
Bill, what do you think?
I think
know.
it's. I think the housing market is going to flatten out a little bit.
Sure.
It's not going to have the issues that we saw all the year.
Mhm.
So the obvious things are, if they think that 67% of Americans relocated last year, it's going to slow down.
Yeah. Who else is going to
And
move?
at the same time, we have all these homes that are in forbearance that are not going to be able to come out.
Mhm.
Those people still have equity in their homes in most cases,
Sure.
so they're going to be able to sell them and not be underwater.
Mhm.
But that just means there's going to be extra homes flooding the market. So the appreciation is going to be a lot less. There's going to be more to choose from out there next year. But there's no need to panic because we're going to catch up. Even with these homes, we're not going to catch up anytime soon with the number of families being formed and the need for housing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested, like who's buying the
Rates are going up.
and rates are going up.
Yeah,
Yes.
they will.
Who will be buying these homes in 2022?
Mm.
People who work for large corporations, like in the Northeast or the West, those who can move already have.
Right.
Right.
So then, do we a migration of 67% of people again in 2022, with prices not declining and either slowly appreciating or maybe even more than we think? People aren't going to be switching up to the next home? I mean, would you think? Do you think that? Because there's not as much stimulus money pumping into the economy anymore.
Well, one of the beauties of our system is that states are little experiments, and some states that are going to be a little tougher on lockdowns, or in Texas, you're going to see those people continue to move because they're going to want to go to a place that is cheaper and you can live a little bit freer.
Yeah.
Right.
But but then I don't have these numbers, but I want to find them. People who work for large corporations have a higher likelihood of being able to work from home and move to other places, work from home. Like if working for smaller companies, which most people I think do.
Sure.
Do they have that much flexibility? And the ones who do, have they already taken advantage of it? So then who's left to be migrating to these areas and why?
And how will the government mandate of 100 employees or more have to get a vaccine?
Didn't that judge stall that?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but we'll see if that comes to pass.
I think the appreciation on homes Q1, Q2, and even Q3 of 2022 is going to be higher than we anticipate.
I agree.
I
hope you're right.
I think it's going to be somewhere between the 5 and the 8%. It's going to be much. It's still not going to be 18, but I think it's going to be much than they're anticipating. And then I think perhaps we see this time next year it drops off.
Yeah.
Well, I want real estate investors to be prepared.
Yes.
That the market is not going to cover up their mistakes going forward.
Like they have been.
That's
so
for years.
you're going to have to be very, very diligent in what you purchase a home for and what it costs you to rehab them.
Yes.
And also people who are investing in syndications, please beware. Syndications that are formed on razor thin margins.
Yes.
They're on razor margins. If something, if we're not selling it fast anymore, you might you might not be making any money.
Yeah, be careful for sure.
But yeah, I mean, I think the appreciation is going to be a little higher than we anticipate. I know that the foreclosures that are come through, they're not going to be as high as they were before.
No.
There's just no way.
You don't need to. There's equity.
Yeah.
invested
There's
in some
there's
houses.
equity, and then the question is, how fast can you move that house? Then how much demand is still pent up?
Mhm.
Right.
Well, we still believe that there is somewhere between 4 and 7 million or more homes that are still needed.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. There's what, 2 million in forbearance property.
Three.
Yeah.
Three.
Yes.
So there's
it's
still
up.
less. Like I said, it's going to be a while to catch up, and
Yeah.
it depends on most of those homes. I believe are still going to be in the median price point
Mhm.
because those are the people that weren't able to continue paying. The
Yeah.
people on the higher end of the income scale, most of those people affected.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that not. I mean, there are some, but not like it is for the medium or affordable housing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then banks, as the Fed stops buying mortgage-backed securities, the liquidity is going to get tighter on banks, so they're going to stop lending as much.
Mhm, mhm.
That there's plenty of private
Exactly.
money out there.
Non-qualifying money.
You'll-
There's
Yeah.
lots of it.
You'll see a lot of, they call it non-QM.
Yeah.
Non-QM.
So the rates aren't going to be as good as Fannie Freddie, but they're
But
going to
they're
be
not far off.
And they're not too far. I mean, I'm seeing as close as like 50 basis
Yeah.
points. Like,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
it's not bad.
That's exactly right.
all right.
I'm thrilled.
Any last
Yeah.
words?
Wrap it up for the next one.
I mean,
Let's
some
do it.
people are thinking there's going to be a bloodbath next year.
I've heard that
I just
from some really smart people. From some really smart people. So
I mean everything
Yeah,
that we're seeing we don't see, but we've been
It may
wrong
be in the
before.
stock market,
Well,
but I don't see it in showing up in housing.
well,
not in
and-
housing.
and
I mean,
real estate.
mm-mm.
Folks, thank you. So, but by the way, don't forget we have a show coming up at 1 o'clock. There's a link to it. We are going to be using the syndications that Jonathan just mentioned. We are launching a new fund, and we're going to talk about it and other funds along the way and how they're all going to be structured.
it's a great way to
Okay.
understand how they work.
Absolutely. All right. So thank you so much for just on the Real Estate Investor Show, hard money for estate investors. We are Carolina Capital Management. We are lenders in the Southeast for real estate investors. So if you are interested in borrowing money, go to carolinahardmoney.com, click on the Apply Now tab. If you're a passive investor looking for passive returns, click on the Accredited Investor tab. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and sign up for Wednesdays with Wendy. See you next time.